Flinn and the library dog. And I recognize a lot of faces out here, but some of you may or may not know me, including parents and grandparents. And I am Mrs. Crawford. I teach 2nd grade. I even see some of my students from next year. And this is Silva, our school therapy dog, and she's in our building every day with us. Okay? So Madeline Flinn and the library dog by Lisa Papp. I do not like to read. Not books. Not magazines, not even the menu on the ice cream truck. My gosh, I can't imagine not liking to read. And I especially do not like to read out loud. Keep trying, Madeline Flinn, my teacher says. But sometimes I can't figure out the words. Sometimes the sentences get stuck in my mouth like peanut butter. Going to Cadence? Cadence, I'm going to throw it to you, okay? Sometimes people giggle when I make a mistake. Some of my older boys and girls know how to work with Silva, so. Would it make you sad, boys and girls, if somebody giggled if you made a mistake while you were trying to read? Would that make you sad? Yeah? Sometimes we don't mean it though, right? And so we could use our iMessages and tell them, oh gosh, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but that made me feel a little sad when you said that. Okay? Maybe they don't know what made you sad. And I never get a star sticker from my teacher. Not even a smiley face. Instead, I get a heart that says, keep trying. I get a lot of keep trying stickers, but I want the star. Can you think of a time when maybe you were working really hard to get something?
I don't know.
And it took lots and lots of practice?
Baby bug. Baby cupcake.
Stars are for good readers. Stars are for understanding words and for saying them out loud. But I know what else they're for. Stars are for making wishes. So I make a wish for my very own star. So a star for a star, right? Yeah, there was a lightning bug on that page. Good connection. Did you hear her connection? She said, I saw a lightning bug out my window, and there was a lightning bug on that page, the picture in the page, okay? I guess wishes take a while because I don't get my star on Monday or Tuesday. Keep trying, my teacher tells me on Wednesday. On Thursday, I say the frog's name wrong. It's Samuel. I try to get away with Sam, but it doesn't work. Friday is no better. On Saturday, Mom takes me to the library. Hello, Madeline Flinn, Mrs. Dimple says. She's our librarian. I don't like to read. Imagine, Tatum, can you imagine? I remind her in case she forgot. Oh, I remember, she says. But today, we have something special. Something you might enjoy. Some of you might make a connection to this. It's in our room right now. Madeline Flinn, would you like to read to a dog?
No. Wait, my connection is Silva and his reading teacher.
Very good.
And mine is Domino.
Okay.
Black and white.
Domino's black and white?
Yeah. And I got
And there was a black and white puppy on the page. Very good connection. Mrs. Dimple leads me over to a big white dog. Connection?
Silva.
This is Bonnie. Why don't you pick out a book to read to her? She's a great listener. Allie, is Silva a great listener? Yeah, Allie was in my class last year. Bonnie is beautiful, like a big snowy polar bear. Do we know any polar bears? That's Silva's nickname.
I do. I see the polar bear.
Did you see it?
I saw a polar bear right on my
Would you
front
like to
porch.
try? Mom asks. Yes, please. I say, but not very loud. just like Silva. Does it look like Silva?
It's exactly as big as her. And it's bigger.
And that dog is wearing a bandana, and sometimes Silva wears bandanas. At first, I'm nervous. I get the letters mixed up. The words don't sound right. But then I look at Bonnie, and she looks right into my eyes. She doesn't giggle. She doesn't giggle when we read. Wrong, does she, Brennan? Nope. I feel better. I try again. Halfway through, I get stuck on another word. Bonnie doesn't mind. She puts her big paws in my lap and lets me pet her until I figure it out. Okay, Vince, can you see if you can get her to go over here in this middle spot now so these boys and girls maybe can see her? I'll show you those pictures. Come back.
Ty, scoot back. Scoot back.
Oh. Silva, stand.
Thank you.
Silva, stand.
Turn about. Stand.
Stand. Silva, stand.
Come here, Silva. Stand. Okay, down. Down. Silva, down. Allie, I'm going to toss it to you. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so she's trying to read to Bonnie, right? After that, Bonnie and I read together every Saturday. It's fun to read when you're not afraid of making mistakes. Bonnie teaches me that it's okay to go slow and to keep trying, just like the sticker says. I still don't have a star, but I can be patient, like Bonnie. I have a lot of boys and girls tell me when they usually get frustrated and they're reading with Silva that she helps them to learn to not be so impatient when they read, because she just really never gets worked up about much of anything. And she loves to get loved. Soon, it's almost time to read in class again. But when I go to the library, Bonnie's not there. Ooh, how do you think that make you feel? Neither is Mrs. Dimple. Would you like to wait for another dog? The other librarian asks. No, thank you, I say as politely as I can. Did a problem just occur in our story? Okay, who can tell me what the problem is in our story? Sally, what's our problem?
Whoa, dog invasion.
She doesn't want to read to another dog, right? Who's not there?
Riley.
Bonnie's not there, is she? Okay.
You gotta let everybody have theirs.
Don't worry, Mom tells me later. Bonnie was just busy today. But what about school, I ask. You'll do fine, she says. Just pretend you're reading to Bonnie. Good girl, Silva. Down. Silva, down. This is how I'm going to explore. Yeah, Cadence, can you grab her in?
My guys like Hayden.
Oh, I didn't show you those.
Riley's ready. Go sit down.
Okay,
Silva down.
so there's the other boys and girls reading
Silva, come over here.
to dogs, but she didn't get to read to Bonnie that day, right?
Silva.
Okay. On Monday morning, I am very nervous. Can you all think of a time when you were nervous? Okay. Madeline Flinn, would you like to read next? The teacher asks. Yes, please, I say, but still not very loud. The first sentence goes pretty well. Then I mess up on a word, and then another. I hear someone giggle. But then I think about Bonnie. I take a deep breath and pretend she's right next to me. Next thing I know, I'm at the bottom of the page. I look at my teacher, and she has a big smile on her face. I did it! I got my first star! Would you be excited? Is that a huge accomplishment? Do you think that gave her a lot of courage to keep reading?
Yeah. a dog on the back.
Yeah. On Saturday, we go to the library again. Mrs. Dimple is back. I got my star, I tell her. I want to give it to Bonnie. Well done, Madeline Flinn, she says. I think Bonnie might have a surprise for you, too. What do you think the surprise is going to be? Can you turn to a partner and tell them what you think the surprise might be? What do you think? Sam, what do you think the surprise might be?
You
have a guess? Do you have a guess? No? Archer, do you have a guess? What do you think the surprise might be? Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Oh, this looks like a big surprise. Madeline Flinn, would you like to read to Bonnie and her puppies? I would have never guessed that that was the surprise. And sometimes, boys and girls, when we read, that's what happens. Our guess isn't the exact thing that happens, but it still helps us to understand the story and what we read. And sometimes it's fun to have it be such a cool surprise like puppies. Huh?
Raise your hand if you like puppies.
I like puppies. My dog died at home. My dog
Yes,
died.
please. I say nice and loud.
I want to take one of those puppies home.
Yeah.
What do we tell them?